Hey guys, how you doing today? Ron Shawley here for Ion Speed Pro, and here on AccuWeather.com and our Facebook site. We're kind of like all over the web these days. I'm continuing my series on building a homemade device that can create a 360 illusion by utilizing the Ion camera. Okay, here's what I've done so far. Again, I went out and I bought what used to be $1 for these mechanical egg timers. Okay, so I purchased the egg timer, and the first thing I did was the dial plate. I took my sander here, okay, and I sanded off I have to find, there it is. I sanded it down so it's a little bit flat on the top edge, okay? That way it can seat a lot easier onto the Ion mount. Now, what I've done, I've taken the Ion head strap mount, okay, and we are going to attach the strap mount to the turning dial of the egg timer like this, okay? Now, on the underside, let me see if I can get this lined up for you, okay? I want to make sure that it's lined up, that the slots are on the face side opposite of the middle of the dial. That way I can drill a hole into the plate, one here and one here, and we're going to put screws down through here, and we're going to attach it to the plate that way. That's our first step. The second thing we're going to do is, if you'll notice, I want this to be absolutely flat, okay? And you can see we have an angle to it. So I'm going to take, and because it's plastic, again, I'm just going to shave off the plastic on the back side here, making this a flat surface, okay? I'll sand it all down, and I'm going to make it flat so it lays perfectly flat on the ground. That way, whenever you mount it to your tripod, it can rotate 360, but it's not going to be lopsided. Okay, now I'm taking a picture of my skill drill there. Okay, but anyway, I'll be back in a moment. Let me get to work here, and once I get the plate attached, I'll come right back. Okay, we're back here. What I've just done is I've drilled 2 holes into the plate. Okay, the actual knob that turns the timer. Okay, I drilled 2 holes into the plate. I also put plastic epoxy on top of it, on top of this the plate. That just is going to act as a little bit of it contours. Where's my, okay, on the underside here, it's going to contour to that little bit of a hole there, okay, and it's going to help it to seat a little bit better. And to reinforce the dial, after you sand it away, the actual piece, it's kind of flimsy, because I've sanded away the bulk of the integrity of it. But I took some plastic epoxy and I just applied it around that little section right there, just to strengthen it and keep it from falling off, okay? Which is a good thing. And you can, get plastic epoxy at any hardware store, or like Walmart, Kmart, whatever. But again, I had some plastic epoxy laying around, so I thought, well, I might as well use it. Okay, back here. I've attached the screws. And it doesn't look like you would buy something in a store. But again, this is a homemade fix, okay? And I'm using what I could find in a garage. Now, one of the things I noticed is, because you got plastic, when I tightened up the screw, it snugged up each corner of the dial plate, which is okay. It didn't break or anything. The plastic isn't like real brittle, and it still fits perfectly onto the timer base. It's still free floating. I can turn it and it doesn't rub or anything, okay? So that part's done. I've used a couple of lock washers just to keep the nuts from spinning free. On the dial, on a tightening knob for the Ion base, it does brush up against the screws a little bit, but I can still turn the tightening knob down. If I had to, I could probably file some of the edges off of the turning plate, or probably get different screws that would be a little bit lower. But I said for now it's tight, it's solid, it's real good, and we're going to move on to the next step. And then the next step will be trying to file down the plastic so I can get this thing level. Okay, we're back with you here at the end of our project. Let me go out here and I can get some more daylight. What I've done is I've taken the base, sanded it down level, okay, and I drilled 3 holes for the bolts going the whole way through the plastic sheeting, and you can see I have nuts on the other end. I had taken my shoe for my tripod, and in the past project I've taken a nut and tried to glue it onto the base, which really did not give me that much support. So I had an extra shoe for a tripod, so I merely just took the shoe, took it apart, flattened it out, drilled it, and put some tap screws in the bottom to hold it in place. So now the unit will just, you know, sit on the tripod nice and solid. I got a solid base, it's level. Time to test it out. It took me about 15 minutes to make it. Again, it looks generic, and it is. I mean, what can you say, right? But total cost in this project, about $3.50. Because the timers used to be $1 at Dollar Tree. Now they don't have mechanical ones at Dollar Tree. They have the digital, which won't do me no good. So we went to a Dollar General store, which, I mean, God love them, but you know, around $3.50 for a mechanical timer that used to, for all we know, it probably cost about $1 to make this thing. But anyway, I'm not complaining. There we have a nice unit ready to go. Oh, that looks horrible. That I've made here at the garage out of some spare parts that we've had. I do like the way it's mounted. This is absolutely 100% sturdier than what we had before. I love it. The idea of mounting the shoe right to the base gives you a 100% sturdy base. Definitely the way. It is definitely the way to go. You can see it's flat. There's no give. If it gets windy out, that mount itself won't move at all. I mean, the tripod can move, but the mount right here is pretty solid, okay? And again, I like the flexibility of using the head strap ion mount, because if we're on uneven terrain like we are right now, sure I can, I mean, you can see the tripod is the bulb is set dead on, she's level, but still, for that fine tuning, you can take the ion mount and loosen it up a little bit, and then you can square up your ion cam for whatever situation you're shooting, okay? And now we have it set the whole way at 360. We're going to go somewhere for an hour and do something else while this hopefully does a 360 panorama. See how it turns out.